Alrighty, boys, welcome back to episode 35 of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks podcast. We are joined by Josh on the top left, Big P on the bottom, myself on the top right. Happy early Thanksgiving, or happy Thanksgiving to the watchers. It's coming out Turkey Bowl day. We got a game starting 3 hours after this pod's dropped. How we feeling, boys? How you guys doing?
12:30. I'm doing great. I'm gonna cook a turkey right now.
Let's go.
Nice. We'll hop over to week 12 really quick and recap some of the games over there. Any games that stuck out to you guys? Josh and I could kind of selfishly recap the Packer game and our stomping of the Niners, which just felt so good. It feels just so good to beat the Niners, man. I can't even. I get it was a backup quarterback. I get Trent Williams wasn't in. I get they didn't have a lot of their players. Doesn't matter. 28-point dub. Smacked him around. Felt so good.
If Brock Purdy was in, we would have won by 38. That's all I'm gonna say.
Love that take.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The witching hour for the 1:00 games was like historic. Like witching hour, for those who don't know, is like the last hour of football before games start to wind down. They call it witching hour because things start to go crazy. And I mean, we had Panthers Chiefs close one down the stretch. We had a Texans game where we got Stroud running out of the back of the end zone and they lose to the Titans. We had a Bears game go to overtime when the Bears were down by 10 with like 30 seconds left and a bunch of crazy stuff happened. They sent it to OT. Still lost the game, but like just a wild witching hour. Oh, and the Commanders somehow lose to the Cowboys. So it was definitely a wild 1 p.m. slate last weekend that made for lots of craziness.
Can we
And the
officially
Browns.
say the CJ Stroud sophomore slump?
I mean, I don't think we need to make it official. It's definitely been a slump. The offense for that team loves to just like every time I watch them in prime time, it's like, oh, this is like the third time this year they've had like under 50 yards in the second half. It's like they go into halftime and whatever was working just stops working and they like don't know how to adjust coming out of the half. It's like crazy. Because it's
Their only offense, from what I see, is pray Nico Collins just dominates or Joe Mixon just needs to get loose. And outside of those two, it's like the offense is just Stroud doesn't look like the Stroud of last year. He looks just like panicked or something that just looks off.
Yeah, he was doing
I was never a huge Stroud fan. Stroud
he was doing it with no one's
terrible. Stroud plays terrible against good defenses and plays great against bad teams. That's what he did his rookie year. He was a monster and ran up the score against bad teams. And anytime he came across a good team,
but
he looked like a rookie.
The Titans aren't even a good team. This is like a step back. This is a bad loss. If I'm a Texans fan, I'm like full panic, honestly, that I'm 7-5 and just lost to the Titans. Like,
I don't know if
I'm a Texas fan. I'm trying to lose for Shedeur. That's what I'm doing if I'm a Texans fan.
I don't know if I want to make this comparison just yet, but Jaden Daniels kind of year seems he's been playing really well and he's been good. Seems almost a little fluky in the sense of they got the Hail Mary against the Bears. They lose outright to the Cowboys with the backup quarterback, a team just in demise. The Commanders are frauds, man. And I don't think Jaden Daniels is as good as advertised.
Bo Nix is the crown of the quarterback class.
He's good, and he's a rookie quarterback, and he's playing awesome for a rookie. But Connor was calling him the best quarterback in the league 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Connor was crazy.
Let's hold off our horses on Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I don't think that can be with like all rookies. Like everyone's gonna have their day. Like Caleb's gonna throw for 325 and then gonna throw for 50. Like Bo's gonna throw for 4 touchdowns and then throw 3 picks. Like I don't think we can crown rookies until it's all said and done. But I mean, like, yeah, all three in my opinion are great. Is Caleb Williams like the walk away should have been the number 1 pick, like not with what we've seen so far, but I don't know. I don't think you can like write any of them off. I think all three are talented QBs.
Can you write off JJ McCarthy?
Just because of the knee, you can't. JJ and Penix are kind of in the like TBD category of like, will they be like Trey Lance and just never touch the fields, or will they have a shot and what do they do? So
Or will
what
they
do
be
you
like
make?
who, P?
What do you make
Zach,
of the Daniel Jones?
Trevor, any of them? Yeah.
J Love. J Love
Oh,
set.
J Love.
Yeah.
It could be Trey Love. It could be any of them.
I mean, people forget
Daniel
This is J
Jones
Love's
is kinda-
second year starting too. Like
Right.
the jury. Like a lot of Packer fans are very split. Some people want to crown. I'm on the narrative of Packer fans that want to crown J Love and think he's awesome. Like he's our guy.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, there's a lot of Packer fans that are not on the J Love train, which is like surprising to me in the sense of I think he's very good and he's obviously the guy in my mind. I just don't understand how it's even like a conversation. And even like I was boarding a plane back from New Orleans back to Detroit, and I hop on and there's Lions fans right as I board the plane, and they're like waving the Lions things in my face, and they go, "Is Jordan Love the guy?" And I like had to do a double take, and I was like, "Have you watched like a snap of football this year?" To ask me that question.
There's
Come
so
on.
many.
He's the guy.
There's so many Lions fans in these stadiums, and it's like, I don't think it's that they travel. I think it's like everyone's just kind of like coming out of the woodwork as like fans, and they just don't know ball. But they're like, I can cheer for the Lions. I don't know, but they just don't know ball. Like,
or just Lions fans haven't watched football for the past like 20 years, and they're finally watching it for the first time ever, and they just like aren't fully grasping what's going on.
Yeah. Wait, what's this kickoff rule? What's going on with this?
Lions fans hate me so much. It's hilarious.
Oh, the Lions fans are like, when did we get women refs out here? This is crazy.
Yeah. Anyway,
J Love's definitely the guy. It's not a question whether he's the guy or not. The question is, is he going to be the guy that throws a pick six every other game, or is he going to be the guy that throws like 6 picks a season? That's the question. Is he gonna be Favre or is he gonna be Rodgers? I don't know. It's not looking.
I think he's gonna be the happy median of both. I think he's gonna be in the sense of he's got the little gunslinger in him that Favre has, but he also has the decision making to not be throwing 4 picks a game and just rocketing balls. Favre had the confidence he could make any throw, anytime, any place. I think Jordan Love's starting to develop a little bit better sense of, hey, I'm getting sacked. Maybe I don't spin around and lob one in the air. Maybe I just take the sack, or maybe I just loft it out of bounds and live for the next down.
Yeah.
To be seen, I guess. We're in year 2. We're in year 2, youngest team in NFL history. But we don't have to make this pod all about the Packers. We'll get to the Packer game here. Let's hop over to Week 13. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. A lot to be thankful for. First game on the slate, we got the Bears at the Lions. Lions are -9.5, over under 47.5. Who wants to start us off?
I got us. I'm gonna reel in my craziness from last week and pick the Lions here as to finally break the Thanksgiving curse.
Yep.
I know they're kind of cursed on Thanksgivings. Dan Campbell is kind of like the last thing not the last thing, obviously he wants to win a Super Bowl, but I know it would be important for him to be able to win a Thanksgiving game because he has not done that yet. So we'll see, but I'm gonna go Lions here at home.
Okay, I'll go next, I guess. Josh is
he's preoccupied.
Yep. Next, I'm actually gonna continue my Lion hate. I'm picking the Bears here. Lions have lost 7 Thanksgivings in a row.
Yeah.
And history tends to repeat itself in a sense, and I'm going to pull out some history. 1931, Lions start the year 10-1. They play the Bears on Thanksgiving, and they lose to the Bears on Thanksgiving 1931. History will repeat itself tomorrow. Wow. The Bears beat the Lions in Ford Field for their 8th straight Thanksgiving loss.
Wow.
That's a take.
1931 was a long time ago.
Indeed.
I'm going to take the Bears here. I think the Bears are better than what people think they are since they fired their offensive coordinator and they were in overtime against the Vikings, who I think are close to collapsing this year. The Lions are just bad on Thanksgiving. So I'm going to take the Bears here. I think the Bears are better than people think they are.
That's very surprising. I thought I'd be lone wolf there. What do you got, B? You were cooking something up there.
What?
Looked like you were about to cook something important there.
No, I mean, I don't know.
I was gonna add on to it in the sense of Bears have been squeaking out losses. I mean, they've been in all these games and they've been playing teams tough. And I think they're able to do the same thing. But
the Lions are getting banged up too. It's like their DBs, Anzalone, we already know about Hutch.
Like, didn't matter in the first place. No, Aiden Hutchinson barely mattered. He was barely on the team.
I didn't even realize he was a football player. I thought he was a reality TV show star. And then this guy's on the field.
I heard he had a couple of sisters.
He's the team captain. He calls the defense. That's important.
I didn't know about that.
But yeah.
Yeah, we're just trolling.
And they're also super thin because Derek Barnes is hurt, so it's like
Aiden Hutchinson's sisters or something?
I know, the Anzalone.
Moving on to the 4:00 game on Thanksgiving, we got the Giants against America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas -3.5, over under 37.5. Dallas is 0-5 at home so far this year.
Yeah, 0-5 at home. Coming off a win against the Commanders. This is a weird one. DeVito, second star. Dable, former coach of the year, now seemingly coaching for his life to keep his job, to show someone somewhere that he deserves to not get fired. I'm going to go with the Giants on the road here. I think -3.5 for the boys at home is kind of weird, considering they haven't won a home game and they're just so bad. But I also don't know how they beat the Commanders. So maybe I just don't understand football, which I think is pretty apparent by my record picking games. But I'm going to go Giants here.
I am going to be on Dallas here. And it's hard because we really don't know who's going to be starting at QB for the Giants. If it's Drew Lock, I think Drew Lock gives them the better chance to win that game. Could be Tommy DeVito, who is just absolutely useless. Should go back to bagging groceries with his boy. But I think Dallas is good enough offensively to... I mean, CD is probably going to catch another 11, 12 balls, and he's probably going to get 60 total yards. If you're betting CD props this weekend, boys, since Cooper Rush has been starting, he feeds CD Lamb, and it just goes for no yards. He's catching 4 or 5 yard dunks all game, and he'll catch about 12 of them, but he is not getting yards. I would avoid his over receiving yards, and I would take his honestly interesting little lay. You could combine them. You could take his over on receptions. You could take his under on yards, which would pay out probably pretty nice. So don't hate that. But give me Dallas at home on Thanksgiving in a Mike McCarthy possible contract extension week.
That was a wild statement.
Did you hear that?
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, Jerry said that he didn't think it was a bad idea to extend McCarthy because he's a Super Bowl winning coach. So I guess if you win a Super Bowl, you can just lose 3 years in a row and get paid again.
To be fair, they had 2 really good winning years the past 2 years. They just lose first round in the playoffs. But yeah, same difference. I mean,
it's the Cowboys. Expectations got to be a little bit higher than what McCarthy's putting out there right now.
It's a bad year.
Yeah, this one's tough. I want to take the Giants, but the quarterback situation is going to make me take the Cowboys. And the Cowboys just beat the Commanders for absolutely no reason at all. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It's an anomaly.
So, Commanders are frauds.
I'll just take the Cowboys, and I agree the Commanders are absolutely frauds.
I think the Commanders were definitely supposed to be a bottom 10 team this year, I feel like even with Jaden. I think on paper, everyone thought they weren't going to amount to much. And then, they win a few games. Jaden looks electric. Everyone forgets, they're really old and really young at the same time. They just don't have that, middle ground of, they have dudes that have their bodies falling apart, but, no ball, and they have young guys, just no experience. And, it was working, and it's, obviously they just lost to this Cowboys team that struggled hard this year. So it's, hard. Yeah.
Also,
I'll save that take.
Why is any team in the NFL watching film on Turpin and still kicking him the ball? Dude, why are you kicking him the ball?
It's like 90% too.
Don't
like
kick
90%.
Just don't
90% of teams. 90% of teams know you just kick it out of bounds like 25, 30. We don't care. We just don't want to give them the shot. And like we're kicking the ball to Turpin. Like to Jake's point, like analytics would say just don't kick the ball to anyone. Yeah, let alone
give it to him on the 30. Every time.
Every time.
Don't kick it to Turpin. He muffed that kick too. And he did his little spin. He's like, sometimes in practice I'll just bust out crazy moves, and he's like, I was in one of those situations. I just busted out something crazy and ran for a 99-yard touchdown.
Little Deshaun Jackson, miracle at MetLife. Yeah,
I mean that's a guy you just don't kick to. Like you watch a couple like returns on him, and you're like, okay, game plan this week, special teams, kick it out of the end zone.
For sure.
Easy.
Moving on to Thursday night football on Thanksgiving. We got the Dolphins at the Packers. Packers are -3.5, over under 47.5.
Yeah, they saved the best one for last, in my opinion. I think it's gonna be a good game. I do think the Packers are gonna win this one. I don't know. Tyreek is playing hurt the whole year and has not looked like the Tyreek that we know. And Miami's O-line has been banged up. Their defense is definitely not in the form that it used to be. They are still a tough team. I feel like you can't chalk it up as like, oh, the Dolphins in Lambeau on Thanksgiving, it's going to be probably freezing, maybe even some snowflakes. Not like they're going to be out of their element, but it's the NFL. It's the Miami Dolphins. They got enough weapons around that all they need is one or two guys to make a couple of big plays that could change the game. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to Jordan Love playing smart football, prime time Thanksgiving. He's going to be taking the cornucopia home, or what do they call that?
No, you got it. That was perfect.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and then what's the other one? The turducken or something?
Yeah, you got it. Good job. You're doing great.
I don't know. There's different Thanksgiving things. Jordan Love's taking them all home. Okay, that's what I'm going for.
So last year, Packers played on Thanksgiving and beat the Lions, and it was a big storyline that Jordan Love didn't get his turkey leg, and all the Packers were super upset. Like, it's a tradition. Like, when you win on Thanksgiving, post game, like players at the game, you're eating a turkey leg. You're like talking about like all the plans you have, your family. It's just like a classic moment that you see growing up. And Jordan Love was like super excited to have that moment. And there was no turkey leg last year, so there's a big conspiracy on that. Also, 28 degrees at kickoff is what's scheduled for this game. Tua in his career is 0-7 in games under 40 degrees. That's kind of the big narrative he's been fighting in the media. He talked about it literally after last week's game, was he's ready to beat some narratives, and I don't think they're going to beat any narratives. I do think they're going to give us a good game, and I think if one guy on Miami is going to beat us, it's going to be very weird to say this guy's name as the guy that might beat us. We've struggled against tight ends all year. Jonnu Smith has been cooking, and for some reason, he's just the focal point of that offense. I think he might give us some trouble, but I think we will weather the storm on Thanksgiving, and Jordan Love will get his turkey leg. So I'm going to take the Pack.
It's not turkey, by the way. It is some other creature, the ducking thing.
Definitely a turkey.
It's not a turkey. I promise you it's not a turkey.
It's a chicken inside a duck inside a turkey.
There you go.
Legs.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
So
if you knew, you just wanted me to look stupid. You knew the whole time what I was talking about, and you just let me look dumb.
Yeah. Well, you were right. You were completely right up until the time you said they're not eating turkey legs.
I got you. I see. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, Jake said most of what needed to be said. Tua can't win a cold weather game, and the Dolphins have suddenly got hot since Tua has figured out how the offense works, running through Jonnu Smith. Obviously, through Jonnu Smith, everyone knew it was always going to be through Jonnu Smith. I think the Packers dominate. I don't think it's gonna be close. I think the Packers are gonna dominate this game. I'll take the Packers.
A chain's
Love
a real
that.
monster too.
Yeah, they got it dialed. It's like run a
They
chain
chain-
for 8 yards, then try to run a
Doesn't-
deep shot, deep tight end post or something.
They're just
The
fast.
Dolphins offense does not scare me at all in 28 degrees. If we were playing in Miami and it was 85, I would be worried. I'm not worried in Lambeau.
Fair enough.
I did see Jair got ruled out again. Who else did? Someone else did too. Oh,
Romeo
Dobbs.
Dobbs and rookie linebacker Lloyd. I believe it's Marshawn Lloyd. I believe his name is.
Frank
That's the
Lloyd.
running back. But
Not Marshawn Lloyd. He is out with the appendicitis, but there's
that's right.
another rookie. Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper is the
Okay, yeah,
linebacker that
gotcha.
got ruled out as well. But we move.
Black
we move on.
Friday.
Black Friday game. I love that they're doing this. I mean, the more days we can get NFL, the better. We got the Raiders at the Chiefs, as the Raiders coach said, the worst team in the league versus the best team in the league. Chiefs
Sure.
are minus 13 over under 42.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already kind of running the beer mile. I don't think there's any way that the Black Hole does not win on Black Friday. I'm just going to say I also don't know if I have it in my heart to pick the Chiefs again the rest of this year. They just keep getting by and getting by. It just keeps pissing me off more and more. And I'm almost rage picking against the Chiefs every week because I just want them to lose so bad. So I'm fully aware that this is an irrational pick, but I'm going to take the Raiders.
I don't know how you're betting with any confidence if you're taking the Chiefs laying 13. I mean, every game, the Carolina just gave them a game where Carolina probably should have won that game if it wasn't for a Mahomes scamper for 35 to get them in field goal range. Like, every team they play is giving them a game. Every team is coming down to the wire, and the Chiefs do what the Chiefs do. They just win football games. And they're going to win this one, I think, in a close one, too. So, give me the Chiefs.
Yeah. The Chiefs play down and they play up. Well, I don't know if they play up to their opponent, but they definitely play down to their opponent. And they win 9 out of 10 close games. So the Chiefs are going to play down. It's going to be close for no reason, and the Chiefs will still win.
Alrighty, moving on. We got our Sunday games. We got a full slate of games, too. We're almost
Yeah,
through the
no
bye weeks
buys.
here.
They're done, right?
No.
I think, is there buys next week?
Yes.
Oh, so there's just none this week. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
none this week. But we got the Chargers at the Falcons. Chargers are minus 1.5, over under 47.5.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. I mean, we got a 7-4 Chargers team, 6-5 Falcons team. I feel like both have their ups and downs. I'm gonna have to ride the hot hand. I know they're on the road. Chargers have definitely been the better team of late. Falcons had some good wins early against Philly, and they looked like explosive. Like Kirk had that 500-yard game against Seattle in prime time. That offense has seemingly not been that anymore. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if they're going to get back to that against this Chargers defense, which is pretty good. Although I thought they would do a lot better against the Ravens than they did. But yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers here. They're the hotter team.
I think I'm gonna be taking Oppo again here. I'm gonna go Atlanta in a get right spot. I think if Atlanta doesn't win this game, they are in severe trouble. And honestly, people might be starting to call for Kirko's head in a bad spot. It's almost he's obviously not played down to the level of Danny Dimes, but it's a similar situation where they paid him an insane amount of money, and Penix might be the answer behind him, or at least that's what fans think in their minds. And I actually like Penix a lot, but I think Atlanta figures it out this week, and they don't have to resort to that situation. Just get what's been working for you early in the season. Go back to getting London involved early, getting Darnell Mooney involved early, and then
Kyle Pitts
feeding
with the
your
goose
bell
egg
cow.
last week.
Just feeding your bell cow and Bijan Robinson. I really do like the Chargers, and I think Ladd McConkey is just balling and really coming into form.
Yeah.
But give me Atlanta here at home.
I like the Chargers in this game. I think Ladd McConkey is basically Tyler Lockett. He catches the ball and dives to the ground. It seems like every time I've
He
seen
doesn't even do that.
Every time I've seen him catch the ball, I've seen him dive to the ground before he gets hit, and it reminded me of Tyler Lockett. So
Terrible take.
out of the two plays I've seen him do that, and the only two plays I watched him catch the ball, that is forever cemented in my mind as he's Tyler Lockett. I don't think Ladd McConkey's that good. He's fine. I think he's a good possession receiver. But the Chargers defense is great. I think Jim Harbaugh is a great coach. And I think the Falcons are slowly unraveling as the season goes on. I think Kirk Cousins will continue to do bad. We'll probably see Penix at some point in the next few weeks. That's my prediction.
I personally feel like they're riding Kirk. Like that situation will get resolved off season. I mean, if you have unless they get eliminated from the playoffs, we're not going to see Penix. I think Kirk is never going to get benched with that team alive. And at 6-5, that team's going to be alive probably till the last week, and then there'll be a scenario where they can still squeak in the playoffs. So I don't know if we see Penix unless they literally lose 4 in a row and the season's over. But
you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. For sure.
Probably right, but it would be electric to see Penix.
But it would be electric if Penix came in and saved the season. Yeah. That would be a crazy narrative.
Yeah. Or, I mean, it's not out of the realm. I'm never going to wish injury on anyone, but Kirko's had his issues.
Oh, he's old. Yeah.
You never know.
True.
I mean, we saw Penix once, right?
Yeah.
He's come in a couple.
Blowout loss.
Yeah, blowouts. But we got the Steelers at the Bengals. Interesting line here if you look at the records, because the Steelers are 8-3, Bengals are 4-7. Line is Cincy -3, over under 47.5 here.
Yeah, I mean, Cincy in November, this offense, and then after what the Steelers did, I mean, I get that it was snowing, but like, you think that would work to your advantage? like Cleveland do that, let Jameis do that. I mean, it's not even like Jameis did too much. He had a rushing touchdown, but. I mean, just down the stretch in the snow, he was connecting. He was moving the ball in the field goal range. He kept him in that game the whole time. And I'm not sure what the weather in Cincy's going to be. Probably same as the rest of the Midwest. Pretty chilly, maybe a little wind,
32.
Possible snowflakes. Yeah. I don't know what to think. I think I'm gonna go Cincy here. At home, division game, November, 4-7. It's gonna be a lot. Every week is so important to these four. Like this is literally like if it's not this week, they could be eliminated next week if they lose this one. Like it's every game is just that much closer to the edge, and I know that they're feeling the pressure, and you can see it on Joe Burrow's face when he throws 200 yards to Jamar Chase. Like him and Jamar are doing everything physically possible. And it's going to come down to can Cincy's defense keep Russ and Najee out of the end zone more than a couple of times. And I think Cincinnati probably wins this one in a similar fashion to the way Cleveland did, 27-24 or something. So,
yeah, I'm on the same train as P here. I think not even in the sense of like agreeing with Vegas, but I agree with Vegas in the line here even, where if you look at the two teams and how they played this year, it's a crazy line. But Cincy's in when they have to win. And season's on the line. T. Higgins is back, went for over a hundo last week. Jamar over a hundo again. Offense is cooking. Offense is not the problem. Although offense could have won the game for him twice last week and didn't get the job done when they had the opportunity to. But with how many points, how many yards and stats that they're putting up, I mean, their defense needs to help them out. The only guy that's helping them out is guy starts with an HD lineman that's like leading the leagues in sacks. Hendrickson, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Trey Hendrickson. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought it was. But I mean, he's a monster. Outside of that, they are just struggling. And Pittsburgh's gonna try and control the clock here, slow the game down, and I think Cincy's gonna be able to just outscore them. So.
Yeah, I would have said this game's easy. And the Steelers are going to – I would have said the Steelers are going to easily win this game, and then they lost to the Browns. So I don't know what to do anymore. I think I'm still going to take the Steelers. They got a great defense. Their offense is good enough to score points. And the Bengals, I think, are just coming on too late. They're a great team later in the year, and I think they just waited too long this year. I just don't think they're going to pull it out. Well, the Steelers I don't see them losing 2 in a row. So I'll take the Steelers here.
I don't know what your order of operations is as far as the schedule, but I want to make a note that the Steelers very much remind me of the Commanders. Where like preseason, we didn't know if it was Fields or Russ, but it didn't matter. We thought they were going to be terrible. Like I don't know. We knew they had a defense, but we didn't. No one saw them at 8-1 or whatever they were. Like I mean, even 8-3. Like
yeah.
I feel like they're going to lose 4 or 5 games down the stretch here to make that look a little bit more where they need to be. But yeah, it's very similar to the Commanders 7-5, where it's like they would look really good, but it's still super inflated as far as like how good are they actually.
That's great.
And that's why I was gonna segue into the Tennessee Commanders game. I didn't know what you had next.
I agree. Great take.
Yeah.
We can go to that game. I'll come back. It's not the next on my order, but we'll hop over there. We got Tennessee at the Commanders. Commanders are -5.5. Over under 44.5.
So this one to me at 5.5, it tells me that the bookmakers are not trusting Washington yet, and also Tennessee's played Tennessee's kind of on the same arc as Carolina. They both terrible starts in like the last 2-3 weeks have finally got a little like a semblance of life, at least on the offensive side of the football. And like with the Cowboys and what they have talent wise, I can see the Titans winning it. I'm gonna pick the Commanders, and if the Commanders lose this one, it's gonna get scary. Like for Washington fans, Tennessee just beat Houston, and that looks nice on their resume, but this is still like way more talent on Washington's side of the football here, and at home in Washington. So I'm gonna go Washington.
I'm in the same spot. I think the Commanders are complete frauds, but I just think Tennessee is a bottom 3 team in the league and are almost fighting for a draft pick more than they are trying to win games. And I think the Commanders can steamroll here and cover the spread as well. So
I think it'll be a closer game, but I think the Commanders will win. Tennessee should be losing for a draft pick, but they'll put up a good fight, I think.
Will Levis just has a meme every week, bro. It's actually
every
hilarious.
week.
Did you see the latest one?
The pick six?
The pick six, and he just puts his head down. Not even looking where he's running. Head completely down. Just doing the track run. I love this guy. He's Jameis, bro. He's white Jameis.
Yeah, he is.
Except he's frat white Jameis. That's what he is. What a guy, though. Moving on, we got the Cardinals at the Vikings. Vikings are -3.5. Over under 44.5.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals here. I don't know why. I mean, the 9-2 Vikings, just another team that I can throw into that pool of teams I don't think have really represented that, and their schedule has been kind of easy and reflective of that. I think the Cardinals are probably like a top 3 team that Minnesota has played this year, and I think the Cardinals are going to win like soundly. Like I'm gonna be honest, like a couple TDs. I think they're going to get it going. And Trey McBride is here. So is Hawkinson, though. Crazy game out of both of those tight ends last week. So it's going to be a nice little tight end duel. But
me and P have found the same wavelength. Finally, it's taken us a long time, but I'm on Arizona here as well. I think Minnesota's is also frauds, and literally hit on my Trey McBride point I was gonna hit on. I think Trey McBride's a top 2 tight end in the league. I was all over him preseason. I tried to grab him in like as many fantasy leagues as I could, and the dude doesn't even have a receiving touchdown this year, and he's number 3 in fantasy points without a receiving touchdown. He recovered a touchdown in the end zone, and he's run one in. No receiving tutties though, and honestly, there's been some plays where he's just like goal line plays where Kyler's scrambling and Trey McBride is naked, and Kyler like throws it 10 yards over his head out of bounds. Not his problem that he doesn't have any receiving tutties, but the tutties will come if he just keeps balling like he is, and he is that guy. But Minnesota's offense is really good too. But I'm gonna take Arizona.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are slowly collapsing, even though they keep winning. Their defense, I think, is actually good. I think their defense is actually good. I think their offense is slowly collapsing, but I think I'm still going to take them to beat the Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals are that good at all. So I'm taking the Vikings here.
Cardinals seem very inconsistent. Like you don't know what you're gonna get out of the Cardinals, but
No.
Like a box of chocolates.
The Vikings are kind of the same way though. Like
that's true.
Except the
I don't-
Vikings are like 9-2.
Cardinals
No,
6-5,
yeah,
both winning teams. But yeah, 9-2 is. I mean, for how
So-
Darnold's played the last 4 weeks, they should not be a 9-2
Yeah.
football team.
no, that's like another team, just like Pittsburgh, just like Washington, like preseason. I mean, go back and watch what we had to say about those three teams preseason. Like, no one was riding Vikings 9-2. Like, that's crazy.
Would you
Keep it
guys start
Detroit honest.
Would you guys start Jordan Addison in fantasy next week, you think, against the Cardinals? What do you guys think?
Yes.
Over
Yeah.
who?
It's like a top, like, 36 wide receiver.
He's like a
Yes.
flex. He's a flex play.
I mean, if you got 3 receivers in a flex, then yeah, you keep him in there. If you got 2 receivers in a flex, you probably still have him in there.
Depends on the
Interesting.
depth.
What about like Jordan Addison versus like Devonta Smith coming out of injury? What do you think?
I would take Devonta.
Devonta's still questionable. And as we were saying before the podcast, Jalen throws 14 times a game, which is not great. Okay, we don't have to. We got to dive into all that though.
Moving on. Connor's not here to talk about his Colts, so this should be
Thank
quicker than normal.
Thank gosh.
We got the Colts at the Patriots. Colts are -2.5, over under 42.5.
Yeah, Drake May is better than AR. That said, I did watch the Jags run Tank Bigsby 30 times and beat this team. So theoretically, all the Colts have to do is hand the ball to John Taylor. I am going to make the bold prediction that John Taylor has his best game of the season, maybe a $150, $175. Colts walk this one away.
Yeah, I think the Colts also get a dub here. I'm trying to pull up as we speak the game log from Anthony Richardson because it was laughable again, honestly.
It's so bad.
Like 11 for 28 is absurd. And if that's the standard you're getting out of him, it's hard to defend this guy. Like, clearly he's athletic. He's a very good athlete. Is he a very good quarterback? No. He's a very good running back. Maybe put him in on read option plays with JT. Or maybe just put him at running back and he can be JT's backup.
He can develop though, because a lot of people were saying the same things about Lamar, and that he's really come a long way as a QB part of his game.
100%. Until he gets to the playoffs.
I don't know. Lamar, I think Lamar's overrated because the stat line looks good and the Ravens keep winning, but when you watch Lamar play a whole game, I mean, Zay Flowers is wide open, and Lamar just throws it like 3 yards over his head, like every play. I'm like, what are we doing? I don't understand. How are you an MVP leader in the NFL and you just can't hit an open receiver on like a 5-yard out?
I've been saying that for the past 2 years, and people have been calling me crazy. I've been such a Lamar disbeliever. He has thrown the ball. I will admit, I've been watching a lot of Lamar because I'm like preying on his downfall with all my takes. He has thrown the ball really good this year for the most part, but even watching that last game, like there is still like you get a little bit of that AR, like where is he throwing that ball? But I mean,
he just misses like open guys. There's like an open guy running right across the middle of the field, right in front of him, and he'll throw into like double coverage in the end zone.
He's
like,
not getting penalized.
That's literally identical to Anthony Richardson. I mean, like how many we all mentioned Anthony game 1. He missed like 4 different 80-yard touchdowns. It's like it's the same thing. It never got better. Who you got, Josh?
I think I'm riding with the Colts. I'll ride with you guys. I think
we just talked so much trash about AR. It all wrote it.
They're playing a 3-9 Patriots team. Like
they're
3-9.
I'm betting on JT. Just JT, Trey Sermon combined for 200 plus.
Drake May needs a solid top end wide receiver, and the Patriots are not going to get that unless they keep losing. So
Connor's going to be punching the air when he listens to this after he comes home from the bar. I'm
He's
assuming
gonna
that's
like
where he is.
record. He's gonna like record himself and be like, "Can you put this in?" We'd be like, "Nah."
Yeah, that's funny. All right, moving on. We got the Seahawks at the Jets. Seahawks are -2, over under 41.5.
Yeah, New York is wild. I mean, the stories I'm reading, people asking people to get benched, no one's getting benched, people are losing jobs. Aaron is not going to be welcome back. Aaron might get benched. Tyrod Taylor's getting added in fantasy. Whoa. Give me the Seahawks, who have like actually been competing the past 3 weeks and look like a team that has, I mean, just organizationally, like, oh, we got a new coach. We're kind of excited. We're 6-5. We're leading the NFC West. Like, we got some things to look forward to versus the Jets that have like no identity, no coach, no front office, no nothing. They're like talking about getting rid of their QB, I don't know. It's just I can't even put into words the things I'm reading about the Jets.
Yeah, this pick, I'm taking the Jets. We'll start it off with that. It is a very biased pick, I will admit. I'm still a believer in Aaron Rodgers. I'm a believer in the talent on that offense. The Seahawks don't impress me. It's in New York. And this is not just any typical game. This is a game where Aaron Rodgers' legacy is on the line. Like, he's playing to not get benched, to not potentially end his NFL career like this. You think Rodgers is going to go out like this? If there's any higher power or anything with Rodgers, like relating to all the like craziness that he goes through with these darkness retreats and these books that he's been reading and these like crazy like spell drinks he's been drinking, if any of those are going to help him, it's got to help him this week, because man, I would hate to see Rodgers go out like that as just a Rodgers diehard, like my favorite player growing up, an idol. Would hate to see him get benched and then be out of the league, and that's how he ended his career. But that's why I'm taking the Jets. I'm still a believer in a sense, but
Yeah, I think the Jets continue their historical implosion, shocking implosion. I think Rodgers, I don't know if he gets benched or if he gets cut. I don't think Rodgers is Rodgers is probably like 25% of the problem with the Jets. He's definitely not the majority of the problem. He's playing fine. Like, he's playing better than like at least 10 other starting quarterbacks in the NFL. It's not like he's that bad.
it's
but
very hurt
the
as
Jets
well.
Yeah, and the Jets are just an awful organization. I don't know if you want to call them cursed or whatever, but they can't do. I don't know.
I hear it's the owner. Is what I've heard. It's all Woody Johnson. It's just terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the Jets, but also the Giants signing, or not the Giants, the Vikings signing Daniel Jones really throws a wrench in the Aaron Rodgers going to the
Brett Favre.
Vikings.
Yeah, I was gonna ask the question.
Rodgers is supposed to be released at the end of the year and then get picked up by the Vikings because JJ McCarthy had a setback, which we were all expecting him to have another setback, and Sam Darnold getting traded. So that Daniel Jones is really throwing a wrench in that. But
He's only there through the end of the year, right?
I mean, Daniel Jones signed a 1-year contract.
Oh, I thought you were talking about AR or Aaron Rodgers.
I did not know that. I thought he was just there through the end of the season.
I thought he signed a 1-year, but I mean, who knows? I'm assuming the Vikings are going to trade Sam Darnold, and it'll be a Daniel Jones, JJ McCarthy next year. If JJ's not healthy, it'll probably be Daniel Jones. But I'll take the Seahawks here. I think the Jets just continued to implode historically.
All right. Moving on, we got the Texans at the Jags. Texans are -4, over under 43.5 here. T-Law should be back, right?
Yeah, T-Law's eyeing his return. It doesn't matter. Houston's bounce backing. I mean, I know they just lost in Tennessee, but guess what? This Jags team's actually worse than that Tennessee team. Even with T-Law on the field, it's just atrocious. Again, I know I said this 10 days ago when we filmed. I don't know how Dumb runs. Still on the sideline. Get him off. Or Doug Peterson. I keep calling him Doug Marone. I did that last week too. Doug Peterson. Get him off the sideline. Let's restart. Fire Trent Baalke. Get them all out. We need clean house.
Yeah.
Keep Trevor though, please keep Trevor.
I like Trevor. I'm a Trevor believer still. But yeah, it's gonna be hard to pick the Jags here, even with how not great Stroud's looked. I'll take Houston on the road here as slim favorites in Vegas.
I'm also a T-Law believer. I'll take the Texans as well.
All right. We got the Rams at the Saints. Rams are -2.5, over under 49.5. Another interesting line here.
This is a crazy game. I think these is another like two teams pretty evenly matched. And if I have to pick a winner, I'm gonna pick the New Orleans Saints at home. They are different at home, and the Rams, even though they've been like playing good football, it's not been like good enough to win games, like enough games, for me to be like, yeah. And the Saints are a different team with Derek Carr. I still think if Derek Carr was healthy the whole year, that they'd be the same record, 7-5, 8-4. Like they'd be much better than what their 4-7 record reflects. So I'm gonna take a Derek Carr-led Saints at home. I know the receivers are banged up, blah blah blah. Rams are banged up just as much too. So New Orleans.
The Rams offense might be one of the most slept on offenses in the league. The trio of Kupp, Puka. I don't even want to put Kupp first in that trio. The trio of Puka, Kyren Williams, and Kupp is so good, and they balance each other out so well. And having Puka back in that offense is such a difference maker. People forget he was out like 6 weeks too. And the Rams are fighting for the playoffs more so than the Saints are. I feel like the Saints are kind of slipping out where the Rams are kind of like fighting their way back in. And I'm going to take the Rams here. And Puka is so good, man. He's just so free to bet every week. Like, every week since he's been back, his line is just so free. And I will continue to take it, and it's just getting higher and higher every week. But it's Puka, man.
Yeah, I agree with everything Jake said. And I think Puka might be the most slept on wide receiver in the NFL. I think he's unbelievably good. I'm taking the Rams.
Moving on, we got the Bucks at the Panthers. Bucks are -5.5, over under 46.5. Are we sweeping Bucks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably
Although we should give Bryce Young his respect. He slang the rock last week.
Bryce is playing better.
Bucks win for sure.
Yeah, Bryce is kind of fighting back into that. I mean, it's almost dangerous for Carolina if they're trying to get away from him. Because, I mean, he's playing well.
He's putting tape on. Yeah.
He's also earning respect from a lot of, like, big names around the league, such as Mahomes last week.
If you're Carolina, you have to stick with Bryce Young at this point, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, through this year, yes. Next year?
Well, even through next year. I think at this point you have to stick with Bryce Young. With what he's done the last few games, I think you have to stick.
I don't think they'll be drafting a quarterback, but they definitely, I mean, they need help everywhere. That team is abysmal. That roster is just so bad. That's probably the worst NFL roster in the league. Like,
yeah.
Chuba Hubbard's the best offensive weapon.
Yeah.
Flowers to him. I mean, I'm not a Chuba guy whatsoever, but flowers to him for the year he's having.
Yeah.
I was the last guy drafting Chuba Hubbard in fantasy. But you can say I'm wrong there. There you go. Love Chuba. We got the Eagles at the Ravens. Wow. What a game.
Yeah.
Ravens -3, over under 51.5. That's a lot of points.
A lot of points.
For two teams that run the ball a lot.
Yeah. I mean, the Eagles are coming off a big 37-20 win against that Rams offense, which you just said has a crazy trio led by Matt Stafford. I think this Eagles defense and specifically Jalen Carter, who at the age of 23 is absolutely like Ndamukong Suh level changing football games from the interior, which you don't normally see interior D linemen like capable of doing the things that he's doing at his size. And I think that's the difference maker. Like, I'm really excited to see the Ravens try to get King Henry going. and you got Carter right down in there, and you got Nakobe Dean, and you got those Eagles. I'm gonna take the Eagles on the road based on just the past few games, what we've seen out of Baltimore, what we've seen out of Philly. I think Philly is feeling a little bit more prepared for this Ravens offense than I think the Ravens offense is prepared for Philly's defense. And I think that's going to be the difference maker in this game. Obviously, we'll see if Philly's offense is up to the task against that porous Ravens pass defense. I think we could have a big A.J. Brown day against them. Like you said, Devonta Smith could be in a good line to get some good yardage against those weak DBs as well. So,
yeah, I'm on the Eagles as well on the road, and it's honestly shocking. P went a minute 30 hyping up how good the Eagles were, and I agreed with everything he said. And he also didn't even get to mention the MVP candidate, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, didn't even talk about Saquon.
The Eagles might be one of the scariest teams in the NFL, in the sense of, I talked about it a little bit last week, when you just automatically convert every 3rd and 4th and 1, just automatic, like it's just a free pass basically, like, oh, don't pass go, don't collect $200 Monopoly. That's what they're doing. They're automatically looping. They're just looping and collecting 200 every time. They get an automatic first down. It's insane. And AJ Brown's the top 5 receiver in the league. Saquon's the best running back in the NFL. MVP candidate, playing out of his mind. And I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts believer, but when he's only throwing the ball 20 times a game max, 25 times a game, and he's running the way he's running, I mean, that they're just hard to stop, and their defense is insane too.
We got Jeff in the Fortnite channel.
The Ravens are gonna be. I can't wait for the Ravens to have a playoff game, and then Lamar to just do Lamar things in the playoffs, and them to get upset like they do every year. I'm not a Ravens believer by any chance, but let's pull Hefe in here. Let's see what he's got to say. I'm assuming he's out. Hopefully it's not too loud, but let's see. Hello, Hefe. Welcome.
Yeah. Wait. They might be hosts, but I don't know. Hey, relax. Who's all there? Man, Cam? I don't know. He's being a host.
Yes.
Who's all there? Okay, hold on. Bro, talk quieter.
All right. You want to run through your picks quick, Hefe? I'll go game by game for you.
Are you guys? Where are you at? In
very end. We got 2 games left.
Yeah.
All right, wait. Time out. I need to find a room.
This guy.
All right, we're here. We're here and we're ready.
I'll catch you up quick. We'll just fly through your picks. Nice choice on the Michelobes. I was also drinking those. Happy Black Wednesday. We got the Bears at the Lions.
I mean, who didn't go to the Lions, P?
Me and Josh.
I went Lions. I was Lions. I'm wearing a Lions shirt.
There's no way you guys. All right.
You want to hear why? Okay, you can listen back to why, but we'll fly through your picks. Giants, Cowboys.
Giants. Give me Tommy Cutlets.
Oh no, he's not even gonna start probably, but sure.
All right, give me Drew Cutlets.
There you go. Dolphins at the Packers.
This spread is weird, dude. It's weird. 3 points, and Tua can't win in the cold, and you're giving him 3. It's one of those Vegas lines, guys. It's one of them.
There's a hook now. It's 3.5. So you're aware.
Yeah, Packers minus 3.5.
Ooh. Fuck it. Give me Miami against the narrative. Give it to me.
I said that. I told him that just so he'd pick Miami.
Raiders at the Chiefs. Baited them.
Yeah. I mean, Chiefs. Yeah.
Okay. Chargers, Atlanta. I'll put you down for Chargers.
Yeah.
Steelers at Cincy.
Cincy just sucks this year.
Okay.
Whoa.
Arizona at Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Indy at New England.
What was the spread on the Arizona-Minnesota game?
Minus 3.5. Minnesota at home.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll take Minnesota. Okay. What's the next game?
Indy at New England.
New England, just because I hate picking Indy, only because of Connor. Literally strictly because of Connor, I'll never pick him.
Seattle at the Jets.
Oh man, I've been out Seattle the last 2 weeks, but it's like I like the Jets, but I got it. Yeah, they just. No, give me the Jets off a bye. I don't care.
Okay.
Off a
Whatever.
bye. He's using the
Whatever.
Yeah,
analytics.
off a bye. Seattle's on a. Is Seattle on a short week? No.
No.
Tennessee at Washington.
Washington. They need to win eventually.
Houston at Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville's mediocre. Texans.
That's a nice way to put it.
Rams at the Saints.
Why do I want to go Saints? I'm gonna go Saints.
Let's go.
There you go,
I was on
MVP.
Saints as well.
Yeah. You got the Bucks at the Panthers.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm riding with Bryce. He's playing for his career. He's playing for his career over there.
Philly at
Oh, God.
Baltimore.
It's a good game.
Philly. I'm rocking with Philly.
We're
Philly's
all on
the real
Philly.
deal.
Yeah, we're all on
Josh
Philly
still
then.
has to pick Philly, right?
Oh,
Philly,
yeah.
Baltimore. Yeah.
I got the Ravens.
Okay, it's not on.
Oh, he flipped it up on us.
We'll see if
All right,
Connor hopped
2
in too.
games.
We might be okay. He didn't hop in, but he did text in the thing. We might be flying through Connor's picks here at some point, but let's move on to Sunday Night Football. We got the Niners at the Bills in a sneaky good game. Bills -7 over under 44.5.
Oh, sorry. You want to start us off, Jeff? Get in there.
7 points
Yeah, possibly
In
no
Buffalo.
Purdy again.
in Buffalo. Oh no,
In
Purdy.
Buffalo.
Possibly no Purdy. We don't know.
Possibly no Purdy. He's questionable again. Hasn't practiced yet.
Fred Warner just came out of this. He's playing with a fractured something, ankle or something.
Mhm.
A fractured uncle.
7 points. I mean, okay, Bills win, but 7 points. All right,
I mean, they just lost
Niners
by
cover.
27
Niners
to the
cover,
Pack.
but Bills win.
Yeah.
So the Niners just lost by like 27 of the Pack.
Yeah, if you watch the film on that Packers game, it's not looking good. If there's no
CMC also
But
does
week
not
2.
look like himself.
no,
Week 2.
I'm going Buffalo.
I'm gonna go my glorious MVP Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to house the Niners here.
Ooh.
I'll take the Billies here. The Billy Goats.
Hey, sweep it up.
The boys will sweep. Alrighty, moving on. We got Cleveland at Denver on Monday Night Football. Denver's -5.5 over under 41.5. Another Jameis primetime game.
So, Jeff, rip us off.
No, dude.
I got us then. I remember Stefanski coaching up Joe Flacco, full of heart, down the stretch, sneaking into the playoffs and winning a playoff game for Believeland. And I believe that they're going to get in Bo Nix, the rookie's head. Jameis is going to do enough to make this team 4-8. Give me Cleveland on the road.
Is there gonna be snow?
I mean, it's Denver in
It says
December.
42.
That's not necessarily a no, though.
The Lord has blessed me to play in this weather, and I am his shepherd.
You
All
can't
right, you
deny
gotta
it.
hate that guy, man.
You can't.
Jameis the GOAT. Honestly,
Is that you going Cleveland?
I'm gonna go I don't even care, dude. I'm going Browns. I don't even know
Let's go.
what I picked this week, and it might throw me
No,
back
you'll
into
be
what
fine.
P is, but
Yeah, we all
You'll
have
be
we have the same pick. So we have a lot of the same picks. So you're probably gonna lose, but you'll lose with me.
I'm on Denver here. I think Bo Nix has kind of proven himself as at least good
He
enough
doesn't believe.
to beat the Browns here. I'm still not a big believer in Denver doing anything this year. Come playoff time, like they're a one and done team in the playoffs if they even make it. But I'll take Denver against Cleveland.
Yeah, Denver's. I think they're definitely gonna make the playoffs, but I think the Browns coming off an emotional win. They're basically their Super Bowl of the year. They don't exist this game, so I'll take the Broncos. Broncos are gonna be easy win.
They kind of exist.
Josh, you just saw Wicked, right?
Yeah, I did
The
not
Browns
know.
are going to be defying gravity.
I had no idea Wicked was a musical until I was watching it.
Josh and Jeff, big musical guys on the pod. That's
I just can't. I'm so
Whatever you
trying to
like.
process what just happened in front of
whatever
my
you
eyes.
like. P and I are football guys. Josh and Jeff, musical guys. It's all right.
We could do a musical football.
What did you say? Football guys?
Yeah, P and I are football
Loser.
guys. You guys are musical guys.
Loser has to go down to their local performing arts center and perform in a play.
Dude, don't threaten me with a good time.
Jeff's like, I'll do that anyway.
All right, that's all the games on the slate. You boys got anything else you want to add? Heading into the slate starting Turkey Day.
Do we have updated records on the screen of the?
I can tell you them. Yep. I think.
Okay.
Actually, maybe not. I don't think I did the math on the updated
No
records. But P, you're down a lot.
Yeah.
You went down 3
Okay.
more games on Hefe, who was your closest last week.
Oh, I'm down by like 7 games now, or maybe more.
You went 4-8 last week.
Yikes.
And then Hefe went
4
7-5.
and 8.
Connor went 6-6. Josh went 8-4. And I went 7-5.
We got to do a weighted system. Like every time I pick the Cowboys as 10-point dogs to win, I should be getting bonus points.
Maybe next year we'll do spreads. That might be interesting instead of just
Honestly, I feel like spreads are easier than money lines, personally.
But yeah, but it might be a more accurate. Like, I don't know. We'll see.
I think we should keep it whatever way it is now.
Okay.
It's easier.
Ooh,
Well, also, like,
that
if
guy's
we're
not
talking
fun.
money lines, I feel like we'd be talking a lot more about, like, less about the game, more about, like, oh, well, this team's not that bad. Or instead of just talking about who's going to win, we're talking about, like, what we're going to cover.
There would have been it'd be way less sweeps. There might be no sweeps. Like
Nuance.
Nuance.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything. I think it was a good pod. Sorry.
What?
Good pod.
Where are we going?
I'm going to wrap us up.
We're going to Boogie.
Thank you boys for watching. Love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Make sure to
Be
sub to the
safe.
pod.
I'll
Be
be
safe. And
Be
we'll
safe.
see you guys. Peace.
See you.
Maybe 5 minutes.